We are here at the Castle Post, and I'm speaking with Dana Martin, who is the event and sales coordinator here at the Castle Post. Dana, tell us a little bit about the history of the castle.
Well, I started here about 2 years ago when Mr. Post called me and said, I have to talk to you about this project I have. It's the castle in Versailles. And I, of course, knew where the castle was. Everybody does, because it's been the most mysterious landmark for 30 years in Woodford County. I met Mr. Post and I sat down with him. It was under construction about 2 years ago. There were people everywhere. And we started talking about the project of, you know, it's going to be finished soon and I'd like to rent it out for the World Equestrian Games. So we started our relationship by talking about the World Equestrian Games. We sat down, he told me the story about, you know, how he obtained getting the castle. So on a trip back to Lexington, he wanted to buy something like a horse farm, have some roots here, have a second home back here in Kentucky for his family. So he saw the sign out on the fence post, it said for sale, and so he, you know, took down the number, called, and aggressively tried to get a hold of the owners with not much luck. So with some persistence, he hired a private investigator and he was able to broker the deal. And about 2 years later, he bought the castle. And so it was originally owned by a couple that traveled Europe. They traveled quite a bit. They were from Kentucky and wanted to find a place here that they could build their own castle, their own European style home. So when they bought it back in the late 60s, like 1969, Rex and Caroline Martin, they started that project. And then shortly after that, they parted ways and the project ended. And it just sat idle for so many years. So when Mr. Post bought it, his goal was really to bring this back to life, bring it into, you know, the features and everything that was meant to be here originally, which would be the castle. So he did start the project in 2003. And at that time when he started the, you know, the build out, it was going to have a lot more of a medieval feel. It was going to be in a medieval castle. So unfortunately in 2004 there was a fire. It burned to the ground. It just, you know, to ashes, just totally destroyed the castle. When we first started out, you know, Mr. Post was going to have this as a family home. So then after the fire, and he had to do the rebuild, and he wanted to do the rebuild because, you know, he was determined, and because of the people in the community really wanted to see something, you know, happen here. He started the project again, but this time he hired a designer. His name is Victor Seho. He's out of Louisville. And he really started the project in a different frame of mind. He wanted it to be still the castle on the outside, but a palace on the inside. So as you see, a lot of the attention to the detail and the crown moldings and the gold gilded, you know, leaf paintings and just the detail all across the castle just really speak for itself. So that project lasted for about 3 years. And then we opened about a year ago. We opened in December of 2009.
How many rooms are here in this luxury inn?
There's 16 total, which 4 are the royal turrets, which you see on the outside walls. Those are a 2-story luxury suite. So the first floor is the sitting area and the second floor is the bedroom. And they all have, you know, just very beautiful bathrooms, well-appointed bathrooms, and they're very private. So depending on what, you know, you're looking for at your stay here, you can either have the full privacy of the royal turrets, or a lot of people want to be in the castle though.
What are the amenities that you have here at the luxury inn?
When people check in and they go and relax in the room for a while or come down to the bar and have a nice cocktail, the dinner is really an exceptional part of Castle Post. So you're in Kentucky, you know, UK basketball is a big thing. So Mr. Post put a full court basketball spot outside the ballroom. Right now you don't see it because there is a tent out there that we just had a party, so we tented that area, which is a good footprint for a tent. So we have the pool. It's an Olympic-sized pool. It's great, and then we have a tennis court. It's your overnight stay and your dinner is really where we're different. We're not a B&B, we're a luxury inn. So when people come here, they have a reservation already. They've pre-selected their dinner from a 3-course prefix dinner where you can select one option from each course. So they do that ahead of time before they check in. Okay. So when they check in, it's very quiet. It's very low key. You can come in and your keys are ready, your room's ready, and you just can come in and make this your own private home.
Well, Dana, tell me about some of the beautiful rooms here. I noticed on this floor as we walk in, of course, it's quite a grand entry with the staircase and then all these beautiful rooms off to the side. Tell me a little bit about some of those.
It is. It's really beautiful. Our foyer is just magnificent. I mean, when you do come in the doors, that does just take your breath away. Everybody just loves coming in and just the grandeur of the grand foyer. So, you know, Mr. Post was a very big fan of music. He loves music. So we're sitting in the music room with the grand piano. And a lot of times when we do have our events here, our parties, special occasion parties, we do have someone here playing the piano. We actually had the only protege to Liberace play here one evening, which was quite magnificent. I mean, he was amazing. And then the library is very beautiful too. It's very rich, it's very warm. A lot of people like that room too. That then goes off into our dining room, our small dining room, which is great. We can seat about 18 people in there comfortably. And then our grand ballroom will hold 80. So we have a lot of different unique rooms that can accommodate anything from a party of 250 to, you know, a few overnight guests. So it's across the board.
I noticed the beautiful billiard room. I was wanting to hit a few balls in there.
It's great. Everybody loves that room, especially the men. It's kind of like the place to go. And it's also a great place like during the Keeneland season. You know, a lot of people, we have the Horse Racing Network there, the HRTV on, and everybody's enjoying, you know, the horse racing. If they stay here, we're less than 5 minutes away, you know, to Keeneland. So it's an easy trip.
Well, thank you for taking us on this tour.
Thank you.